Hello and welcome back to Classic Mini Restoration with me, Mini Tom. In this episode I'm just going to do a follow on from when we painted up, well, when we primed all this lot and sanded it all and attempted to fill it. I know some of you thought it was quite amusing me doing that, and there were some things that I did wrong, some things that, you know, it is what it is. It's here, it's ready to go, we're going to do it. So I'm spray painting with actual spray paint. I'm using my Clark gun, just a cheap gun, you know, spraying at about 30 psi. Too bad. The way you measure that is you basically turn your gun on, not all the way. Gun on, not all the way, and you read your gauge. That's getting the working pressure of that gun, which, like I say, wants to be about 30 psi or 2 bar. So enough of this. I want to get on and spray it. Just one quick note: I am not a paint sprayer. I'm a gas man. So this isn't my forte. I've done it once, turned out okay, so how far on can we go? Let's get on with it. One thing that's very important is to have a proper mask on it. I've decided to narrate this bit for no other fact than right about now the compressor kicks in and the camera is right above it. So if the noise was doing my head in, it'll do your head in if I just play it through. So while I'm narrating it, I'll just give you a bit of a guide as to what I'm doing. Like I've mentioned before, I am not a paint sprayer. I wouldn't recommend that anyone copies what I'm doing exactly. My gun control is terrible. Looking back at the video, I can see my hand waving around like I don't even know what to describe it as. When you're painting, you should keep your gun 90 degrees to where you want the paint to go, and you should move your arm, not your wrist, like what I'm doing. There's plenty of good videos out there which will show you a good way how to do it. One chap that I watch quite a lot is The Gunman, Australian chap, and really thorough in his videos. So if you come to this video to watch on how you paint a dashboard, I'm showing you how I do it. But if you want to see how to do it properly, go and check his video out. So yeah, gun control is my biggest flaw. Mixing the paint up is fine. I couldn't tell you what paint I'm using. I had to bring the shop back up where I bought it from and say, look, how am I mixing this? I can't remember what it was. Turns out it's a 50-50 mix with the paint and thinners. So somebody out there that knows what I'm doing, knows what they're doing, could probably tell me what paint that is. But another lacquer I've got is 2K lacquer, because it says on the tin it's 2K lacquer. So yeah, this coat is a fairly heavy coat. After that, I'll do quite a light coat just to get the metallics to stand out a little bit. But yeah, it's a bit of a funny colour, this one. It's probably just me spraying it, to be fair. But on the back of that panel there, you can see it has sort of blobbed a little bit. It's a bit weird, but yeah, it is what it is. So that was the first coat, and I think it looks quite nice. I don't know if you can see that one that well, maybe. Anyway, it looks quite nice. I'm happy with it. The glove box has ran on the back of it, but the front of it, which is a bit important, looks quite nice. Happy with that, happy with that. Just need to leave it a little bit now and let it just dry a little bit. So I'm going to do one more coat on these when they're dry, just a really quick dusting, just to get that metallic to lay down properly. And then lacquer. So while that's going off, I'm just going to do a bit of painting the boot, which I'm not going to bother filming you because it's paint over spray paint. You've seen me do it loads of times. So I'm going to spray paint the boot. I may show you a finished picture, but like I say, it's only a little can. It's just to really get the gauge of the colour, to make sure the colour's in bright. So I'd rather try it in the boot with a rattle can, which is cheaper than buying a ton of paint, which is mixed up wrong. So, okay, so that's 2 coats of colour on them. They're about tacky now. I don't know if you can see the finish on them, but they look really nice. I'm happy with them. So the first coat was quite a wet coat. Second coat, because it's metallic, Just do a bit of a lighter dusting, not a dust, but a much lighter coat, just so that metallic really stands out and stands up on edge. So I'm told. I'm not a painter. So I've mixed up some lacquer. It's 2K lacquer. I'm just going to get that shot onto these now. I've mixed up quite a bit so that I can do some in the boot as well, which I'm not going to film in the boot because I'll just show it afterwards. Don't want the rest. But it's paint on it. I don't think the colour's exactly the same colour as the car. There was 2 shades in the shop, and the chap made up the colour to the shade that I have it on the VIN plate. And I said, looks a bit more bluey silver than straight silver. But he said there's 2 colours, we'll go with the one that is mixed up, and if it's not that, then just go for the lighter shade is what he's called it, so it's less blue in it. So I think I'm going to try and get a rattle can made up of the lighter shade and just try it somewhere and see what it's like, but I've got a feeling it's going to be the lighter shade. It's a boot floor, I want to carpet it anyway, you're not going to see it, so it's a good test. So I'll just get this lacquer on now. Again, I've muted you for no fact than that compressor does my nutting. You've probably seen me do it before as well, and I've just done it again quickly now. I've got a different paint in the gun. I'm just spraying on a bit of cardboard just to make sure my fan pattern's okay. And again, looking back at the video, it's a good way to learn for myself and for you guys out there watching it. My gun control, it really needs some work doing. What I probably should have done was do some practice runs, maybe not rush it as much, but you know, I've done this once before. It's all new to me. I'm just having a go at it. But what this is, I'm just putting some lacquer on there. I'm doing quite a light coat, which is why I'm moving quite quickly, just so it's got something to stick to. It's what you call a tack coat, I suppose. So quite a light coat, which is why I'm moving quite quick. On my second coat, I do go a lot slower with the gun. Again, I think you can turn the pressure down a bit and it will come out thicker. I could be wrong on that one. But I just tend to just move my hand a little bit slower, just to sort of get that lacquer on there. So the second coat is quite a thick coat. So if there's anything that needs sanding back and polishing, then there's room to do that. But as for the first coat, just a quick dusting, just get it a little bit tacky. And then your second coat, the second coat and any other after that, that's where you want to be getting the lacquer on quite thick. Okay, well, that's painted. It's quite a nice colour. There's a few bits in it. They're not perfect. You can see that crack in that one, but fairly shiny. And again, you can see the crack down it. Bit more time spent sorting them out, you know. Would have looked better with a slight run just there. But you know what? I'm fairly happy. It's a bit orange peely up there, but I put plenty of lacquer on these. So if I want to, I can obviously just slide them back down. And then I'll just show you the boot. So I've got the fuel tank back in. Doesn't look that fantastic in here, it really doesn't. The colour's not great. And I've just got a bit of dust all over the place as well from shutting my door, but it's all dry, so it's not too bad. I did cock up there. I put the wiring back in and it was still a bit tacky. But for the most part, that's just a bit of paper, by the way. It's not rust, it's paper. For the most part, it don't look too bad. Obviously, I've undersealed all these bits here where I've welded. Keith's going to go mad because Keith says they're not the right battery for these minis. Probably isn't, but it's what we've got. Also, thanks to the guy that told me to lacquer the stone chip on the tank, it's come up looking really, really nice. So I can't remember your name. It was a subscriber. He told me just lacquer the stone chip. It's come up really good. It looks brand new. So chuffed with that. The fuel tank's back in. That's all piped up. I've only got my overflow pipe back in, but that's nothing. Got my wiring in. The only thing is, I've got these two earths here, and I don't know where they're connected to. Do they connect to the hinge? If they don't go on there because they're too small for that bolt, do they go onto the lights? I don't know. So if somebody could tell me that, that'd be grand. Bit of crap on there, but. So yeah, so that's a short video. I hope you enjoyed the painting. It's not perfect. Am I a painter? No. Is it going to be perfect? No. Am I happy with it? I'm really happy with it. It looks really, really nice. I think it's going to suit the car really well. I'll get them built up off camera because there's not really much to them, and get them shoved in. The boot's done. That's all done now. I just need to get a grommet for the live from the battery down. I need to get an overflow pipe for the fuel tank, and that's it. The boot is done. And then I've got the radius arms to. I found the radius arms need rebushing, so I've got a tool coming for them. It's a DIY-ish tool, designed it myself, so that should be quite cool. Ball joints in the front, they're going to need doing, so I'm going to just do the full suspension on the front and leave a subframe in place. So, you know, we're getting there. That's the bulk of it. Oh, I did find some rust on the inner wing. The driver's side's fine, passenger side, big hole where the strut tower goes. So, yeah, that needs welding. And we're getting there. The interior's all back in, apart from the seat. I still need to sort the bracket out for that one. But the seats are all in, the seat belts are in. I've got some carpet for my birthday. So thank you, Nicola, for that one, for getting me the carpet. I'm going to get some underlay, chuck some underlay down, chuck some carpet down. That's fine for that one. It's just a cheap carpet, but you know, that's what it is. So the tick list is getting quite a bit smaller. So make sure you're liking, subscribing, make sure you're sharing the video. And yeah, subscribe for more. Cheers, on the next one.